Alright, I'm here. I took a break. I finished watching Furiosa. Actually enjoyed that. I don't know why it's flopped in the box office. In my opinion, it was a great film. Mad Max Furiosa. Expanded on some of the locations, geography of the world a bit. And yeah, I don't know. And in Final Fantasy, we're still chasing the kidnappers of Wuk-Lamat. Wuk-Lamat got kidnapped just right when we wanted to travel to the summit of what was the name of it? Yoctoral Urkupacha Mountains. I think we were going to Urkupacha High Mountains, but now we're sidetracked. I may have put rescuing Lamati ahead of my own progress, but do not take that to mean I've given up on the contest. You understand how important she is to me, yet regardless of how close we were, I would have made this same choice. After all, if I'm incapable of saving my sister while also winning the throne, then I am not fit to inherit her father's heavy mantle. Okay, Koana. Let's go. We need to gather our forces. Hi Alice. Good morning. First, allow me to brief everyone on our present situation. Thus, at the very least, we believe this Obi knows where Lamati has been taken. Tancred is shadowing their boat even as we speak, and I should like to join him with all haste. Unfortunately, our quarry had the foresight to release your Unity, or whatever, from its harness, leaving us without a means to give pursuit. Aeronil, as an expert on wildlife, what are our chances of recapturing the beast? With the right mix of feed it can be done. I should like an extra hand to help to scatter it about, however. Would you accompany him, Madam? Meanwhile, the rest of us should work on getting the harness repaired. It appears to have been damaged when the Punita was let loose. Okay. With all the paddlers here in the camp, we should have little trouble purchasing replacement materials. As for any necessary metalwork, Earthenshire's artisans are but a short walk away. Then let us divide the task and have at it. Sorry. So, either the next thing I'm gonna do will be another dungeon, or they're gonna introduce the trial. I wonder what will be the first one. A new dungeon or a trial? There was an unusually aggressive herd of wild Punita downriver, so our girl will have fled in the opposite direction. Come, we'll try the waters upriver. Assuming our impunity has come this way, she'll be hiding in the depths of Marsh Ligaka. We'll need to lure her back to the shallows with the promise of food. Wild Punita eat mainly aquatic grasses and plants, but the tame ones are often fed vegetable scraps. Knowing this, I added leftovers to the feed I've prepared. This should help the mixture stand out against the marsh nature scents. Ligak is crawling with predators, however, so I'll leave it to you to scatter feed deeper in. I'll be waiting for you near the shallows with the rest of our enticing feasts. I'm almost 94. Enhanced second wind. All set, I've just finished laying out the last of the bait. Step back out of sight and leave the rest to me. Here she is. There's nothing to be afraid of. We just need your help one last time. You're hungry, I wager. Come on, come with me. So they just float over the river. Interesting. Yes, there's a good girl. We'll be fine here, I think. I'll give her a few more treats and lead her over to the boat. You can let Koana know we have our phenotype back. Okay. We're getting somewhere? Aronil has the punity in hand then? Good, I expected nothing less from a certified gleaner. As for the harness, we were able to purchase all the parts we need. Levelier twins are over in the Earthen Shrine right now, having the Potsworn make the repairs. I'm told it shouldn't take long. We'll be ready to embark on our rescue mission as soon as we hear from Tancred. Ah, it's part of the story? Ah. So the last two quests are actually other currents from the main quest. Tancred must know something by now. You found her? Understood, thank you. I had but to invoke his name. Tancred followed the Hobbigo's boat to its destination and confirmed that they are indeed holding my sister captive. They, of course, being Bakul Jaja and his minions. I swear I will make them regret this. Lamati is in Richleaf tunnels. The moment the harness is repaired, we strap in the Punitai and make our way back down to Ihu Katumu or whatever.
Tancred. The third promise is up ahead. She's unharmed, but we best not dally.
Maybe we're gonna finally fight him.
I spit on these pathetic feats. Far more satisfying to claim the baubles by force.
Give it back! Forzenten poured his everything into that stone. You've no right to touch it!
Oh, was that the name of your artisan? How could you allow something so precious to be stolen?
You thieving cheat! You're no true claimant!
What does that make the foolish kitty who fell into my trap? If pitiful roars were all it took to claim the throne, you'd be first in line.
Now, brother. You shouldn't tease her. Look, the poor thing's on the verge of tears. Meow. Someone save me. Who did that?
His scales are as thick as his skulls.
Coward! You dare ambush me?
Tis the blessed sibling's favorite tactic.
His
That
bulletproof
useless
skin.
Buddha was sycophant. He was supposed to keep the lackeys running in circles.
Oh, you must tell me all about that.
Careful now. You wouldn't want to hit her hostage.
That one's not to be underestimated.
Ah, they can do nothing while we have.
Impeccable timing.
Amachi, are you all right?
Aye, thanks to you.
He's gonna escape, no way, right?
These weaklings think they can defy us. We'll slaughter the lot of them.
Patience, brother. The keystone is ours. There is no need to fight this day. And Zoralja has left us hurting.
No! I won't stop until I gut these maggots and feed them their entrails!
If we fall here, we fail our siblings for nothing. Is that what you want?
No, brother.
Siblings?
Break off! We retreat!
Wait! Damn you, Bakul Jaja!
Is this some kind of transportation device? What the hell?
Do we give chase?
We head back. Amachi is safe. And that is what matters.
I'm glad to see you unharmed, Lamati. Thanks again for coming to my rescue, Koana. And all of you too. Bakul Jaja must be desperate indeed to resort to such aggressive tactics. I shouldn't have been so careless. I underestimated him and it cost me a keystone. Fontaine appended his life so that I could accomplish the Moblin's feat. He believed in me, believed in my cause, and I've let him down. The contest isn't over yet. You're right, it's not over till it's over. The next time I meet that brute, I'll knock him straight on his scaly behind and take back my keystone. Speaking of mentions, didn't Bakul Jaja curse some useless Buniwa sycophant when he caught sight of us? A reference to Sarel Ja, I would assume. He's devoted to our brother, and is the only Buniwa I know of participating in the rite of succession. If Zoral Ja was somehow involved in this, I will never forgive him for putting our sister in danger. He will have forfeited his right to the throne. Bakul Jaja should face punishment, of course, but so must the bandits who had the temerity to abduct Lamati. I shall request the father send a contingent of Landsguard to enforce the law in this region. I agree that measures need to be taken to keep travelers safe. But I wonder what pushed these people toward the life of banditry in the first place. If we dig deeper, we might find a way to improve things for everyone. There's something to think about for now, however, the ride continues. I thank you all for your help. We should be moving on as well. Are you feeling fit for travel, Wuklamat? You bet I am, Zoralja gained a good head start, and it's time we clawed back some lost ground. We'll need to take the keystone back from Bukulujaja before we arrive at the City of Gold. You will not relinquish it without a fight, though. Though they share a single body, it's obvious Bukulujaja has two minds when you see one head calming the other head down. These personalities are as distinct as two individuals could be. The Buklamat I once knew would have been inconsolable at the loss of the keystone. This journey and your companionship is doing her a world of good. Kwan is the picture of composure and rationality, except when it comes to matters concerning Buklamat's safety. Far be it from me to fault a brother for being protective, but still. I'm really sorry this happened. From now on I won't let my guard down around suspicious strangers. And again, I do appreciate you all coming to save me. The road beckons, friends. Let's be on our way to the Yokui. Then it's back to where the path through the mountains begins. You remember the spot where you were tricked into walking off with Wawakisa? I wonder if he's raising my hackles on purpose though, you know? Trying to keep my anger directed at him instead of myself. Other way, we can't be standing around here all day. We have a lot of lost time to make up for. Couldn't agree more. I couldn't live without letting Red Rock know what happened, so I stopped in the Earthenshire to say a few words before moving on. And now Aranvil's nowhere to be seen. Couldn't he wait a few more moments? So much for giving him the benefit of the doubt. Come on, let's catch up. I want to give that smug gleaner a piece of my mind. I worried Wuklamat would agonize over the loss of her keystone, but it seems I have nothing to be concerned about. Onwards and upwards then. To reduce congestion, the area you're about to enter has been divided. I guess 6? Why not? Congestion in the zone. I haven't seen that in a while. The first zone actually in Dawntrail where it pops up. Seems those buildings up at our village were headed for. The Yokui have a deep connection to the legend of the Golden City. This visit will allow us to ask them about it directly. We have to be quite high up now, which makes me wonder how much higher the summit of Warkor Zormor must be. As I'm sure you've noticed, the air grows thin at this elevation. Take it slow until your body adjusts. Deep breaths, drink plenty of water. A few more steps and we'll be in Warlord's Echo. Chilly air, stout stone construction. If I squint a bit, I might think it was Ishgard for a moment. Thank the gods they have an Aetheryte. Don't fancy the idea of trudging up that mountain trail a second time. Everything here is giant size, but the structure in the back is on a different scale altogether. A temple of some kind, mayhap? I think I'm getting used to the air up here. So this is the place from the Lay of Proof, where Papa met with Yokui. And that must be them. I don't think I've ever actually seen one outside of the picture. So it is for most to rally. The giants rarely visit the lowlands. Here in their mountain fastness they tend to solemn duty they pledge to undertake in their pact with the Dawn Servant. To watch over the Tural Vidral Valigarmanda and to maintain its prison within their temple. It's definitely a trial after this. 100%. It's gonna be a trial. Ah yes, Wuklama told us about the Tural Vidral, creatures that live far longer than normal and awaken to strange powers. Indeed, yet even among those anomalies, Valigarmanda is unrivaled in strength. It has endured for centuries, bringing catastrophe each time it emerges from its lair. As you learned in the Lay of Ice, it was Gulul Jaja who at last managed to imprison the beast, and he has lain dormant in the temple ever since. It's said that the building still bears a gaping hole in the ceiling from when Valigarmanda was lured inside by Gulul Jaja's final ploy. I'd like to see the strongest of all Tural Vidral. I wonder what it was like to fight it. Warlord's Echo was where both the Lay of Proof and the Lay of Ice took place. Does this not suggest we'll be facing two feats this time? That's a question we can ask the Elector once we fight him. Or maybe we flush out Bakul Jaja first so I can beat my keystone out of him. Identifying the Dawn Servant Elector should be our priority. I suppose we do still have 4 keystones to earn, and no matter what we do, the contest will pit us against him sooner or later. Alright, let's seek out the Elector. Then suggest for me we pay a visit to Keriozar the Gracious, or so their temple is called. The Moblins told me that the High Luminary Garforler, or whatever, is to be found there. If we were to ask someone for information, then he seems a wise choice. Why am I always arriving during the night in the game in a new zone? Literally, I've arrived at each zone during the night. But it's not shiny, beautiful. Well, it's beautiful in its own way, of course. Did I didn't push on the other right. Yeah. The temple guards have been watching us most intently. One does not stroll freely into Garmandi's prison, it seems. We'll need permission to enter the temple, but I expect it won't be a problem for the third promise. Is it taboo to request entrance to the temple, you think? Let's see if I can convince the guards to let us through. I am Uklamat, third promise of Tulu Yolal, and I seek your elector for the right of succession. May I speak with Gorfroller? The High Luminary has granted admittance to the claimants. You may enter. Ah, that was easier than I expected. In we go then. Gods, is that? Aye, Valigarmanda. Welcome. High Luminary Garforler. He's not here at present. I'm Luminary Zormurwer. This is the Sky Ruin, Valigarmanda? It is. The Tural Vidral, whose name has evoked terror since time immemorial. Even my people, once conquerors of all beneath the sun, were as brittle leaves before Valigarmanda's tempestuous power. When the Sky Ruin descended upon Urkopacha 8 decades ago, the casualties were staggering. Had Golo Jaja and his companions not intervened, we would have been slaughtered to the last. The titanic battle with Valigarmanda raged for 10 days and 10 nights. As their foe fought on, tireless and relentless, our heroes were pushed beyond the limits of their endurance. Thus did the head of reason concoct a desperate plan. Golo Jaja tricked the Sky Ruin into losing control of its own ice magics, causing the unwitting Tural Vidral to encase itself in the frozen ether. Smart. And it's been like this ever since. Nice work, Papa. But what happens if the ice ever melts? That the same question looms large in our minds, for the magics sustaining this prison grow weaker with each passing year. Valigarmanda commands power of fire and lighting and ice, so believe that the violence of the recent storm was the result of those energies slipping free. That raging tempest from Valigarmanda? Setting future worries aside, you are come here to attempt the feat of proof, yes? The High Luminary, chosen elector of the Dawn Sovereign, has left me with instructions for all aspiring claimants. You are to scour forbidding mountains and find the waiting Gorfurler. That is to be your challenge. Ah, so the search itself is the feat. You already spoken with my brothers, I take it? I have. Their expeditions are underway. Then we'd better pick up the pace. Aye, but we'll need a direction to search in first. Let's see what hints we can gather from the villagers. I'll be just right back. Ugh. As large as they are, seeking blindly for one in the expanse of these mountains would be an exercise in futility. We need more information. I've encountered many extraordinary creatures in yours and elsewhere, but long has it been since I've felt such an overwhelming presence, like 1,000 dagger points breaking up my skin. Tural Vidral sounds an awful lot like the auspices of the Far East. Are they the same thing under a different name, do you think? Quite possibly, yeah. I sense the recent expulsion of a great deal of ether from Valgarmanda's prison. The ice will hold for about few years more, I fear. God, Valgarmanda is enormous. I know Papa had friends with him, but it's incredible he could hold his own against that thing. Sure, its prison never fail, though we can't expect the old guards to come running. It'll be up to us to save the day. Man, I can't read it. As we're just being informed, the feat of proof requires us to seek the high luminary Garfurler somewhere upon these mountains. However, if earlier feats are any indication, we must assume the challenge precludes the Yokui from answering our questions in a straightforward manner. Thus, I would ask that you pay close attention while attempting to divine Garfurler's whereabouts. Though the giants may not give us a precise location, there may be a clue hidden with their words. Such is my theory anyway. Let us see what we can discover. Jorger War. Let's ask him. The High Luminary? No, I've not seen him today. Now let me ask you a question. That ex-Bral who came out of the temple earlier, was that really the third promise? She seems rather unimposing. How is she meant to succeed the mighty Gulol Jaja? Well, looks can deceive, right? From what I've seen of them so far, the Yokui seem a gentle and reserved people. If they do, or if everything they do is just sit and drink and guard the Valgarmanda, course they're gonna be chill. Atuliolan? No, you're from the farther away than that, I think. As for the High Luminary, I can only guess where he might be. He is warder of the Sky Ruin, but also keeper of the sepulchres, and his duties often take him outside the village. Okay. Ask him after the High Luminary as well, are you? I know not where to find him, but I do hope you have the opportunity to speak together. He is a great man with a deep reverence for our traditions. His glyphs we carve for one, he affords them as much value as any treasure we possess. They are records of lives lived. Your arrival too I will etch into the stone, that the story of our meeting may endure for untold turnings of the sun. If you are curious about our ways, then I bid you visit Proof, to the northwest of here. It is one of our grave sites. That's a clue. When you finish asking around, we can meet back where we started. First thing first, was anyone able to coax forth a definite allocation for the High Luminary? As expected. Was then of clues or other hints that might point us in the right direction? I heard that in addition to his usual duties, I will call him that. He's also charged with keeping the graves. As did I. The Yakuira sepulchres appear to hold a special significance in their culture. But would it be appropriate for us outsiders to enter into their burial grounds? Proof, you say? And he encouraged you to visit this place yourself? Then let's go and take a look. Even if we don't find Garfolder, God, I can't read it. Garfolder there, it would give us the chance to learn about the Yokui. The gravesite is somewhere northwest of here. Well, we can leave from that side of the village for a start, shall we? The others have gone ahead to prove, following the trail west. There are sharp drops everywhere, so we're all moving out at our own pace. Some of us are not built for craggy terrain. I thought to get my bearings from up here first, so I don't stumble off a cliff. Why don't you try catching up to Erenville? He should be able to point you in the right direction. I want to get the ether current first. These have the look of homes rather than graves, but it would seem the long years have passed since anyone living resided here. Take a look at this crater. There is no wood, no trees, not even dried grass, and yet the ground still burns. This must be one of the scars left by Valgaramanda's rampage, as told by the saga. The sky ruins fires are described as eternal, flames that can be quenched by neither storm nor time. And here I thought it literally embellishment. Huh, interesting. But now I've lost sight of Uklamat. Proof is northwest along the main road, so hopefully she's still heading the right way. I drank some water. And I started swimming again right after I finished the meal, you know. I started getting drowsy. It's so hard to like shake it off without walking around for a bit. When you sit down, you relax and it just begins. Wuklamat wins again. Looks like everyone is here now, so... Greetings, friend. Are you Gurfordler? No, I'm not. The High Luminary did, however, tasked me with providing a lesson on sepulchres to those who came in search of him. Oh, so we were meant to find our way here after all. Are you to tell us who is buried here? No one is buried here in the sense you mean. When a body has served its purpose, we consign it to the flames, then scatter its ashes across the peaks. Moreover, we do not conceive of death as others do. For us, a person does not die when their heart ceases to beat, but only when they are no longer born in the hearts of all who know them. This is why we build our sepulchres before age or mishap claims us, that we might etch ourselves into the living chronicle for all eternity. This grave belongs to a good friend. His mortal vessel ended its journey some years ago, and he lives within me even now. Up there stands my own sepulchre. As long as it exists, so too will I. I will endure in the hearts of those who read my grave glyphs, in the same manner my friend does in mine. Has it always been thus for your people, this conception of existence and death? Continue along this path to the indelible passage. Behold the history upon its walls, and you may find the answers to your questions. Then that's what we'll do. Your traditions are fascinating, and I'd love to know more. I thank you for allowing me to share them, for in doing so I will remain in your hearts also. Oh, I actually need him. Oh, I remember this. It was from the preview. They've shown those portraits. those drawings, I think, of the gods that they were worshipping. Look at these splendid murals. They appear to depict 4 different scenes. I get the feeling they were expecting us. I've never spoken with Yakui before and had no idea they had held such a philosophy on life and death. Hello, and a fellow we met at Proof suggested that we come here. Yes, the High Luminary commanded that I watch for your arrival. As the chronicles of our people, it has ever been my family's duty to pass on the teachings of the Merles from generation to generation. They really are magnificent, and together they tell the tale of your people's history? They are the events which shaped us. I would share them with you ere you continue on your way. Please, we would love to hear all about it. Then I will begin. The first mural depicts a time more than 1100 years ago, an age of great prosperity for the Yokui. Blessed with the size and strength unmatched by other peoples, our ancestors marched forth and brought much of Yogg-Thorol under their dominion. Then when all before them had been conquered, they turned their gaze northwards, seeking to expand their territory and power. Here we see the expedition to Yogg-Thorol. Unable to cross the strait by the ship, our forefathers set to build a bridge to the northern lands, a grand labor which consumed the greater part of a century. Zorgor the Boundless, we still make use of the bridge in Tuliolol for travel. I can't imagine the patience and dedication it took to complete a work of that scale. But I've never heard of any Yokui living in Yogg-Thorol. What happened to the ones who went north? Look upon this next mural and behold the answer. People with raised hands to the eyes, some kind of deity in the center. This scene suggests that many giants perished all at once. What manner of enemy could have repelled their invasion? A foe unnamed and unseen. When the expedition pushed forth into Yogg-Thorol those thousands of years ago, its soldiers were felled by disease. Some terrible illness? No, not virulent plague or newly arisen blight. For the local Tonawauta and Chitona, it was but a mild affliction of the sort that comes with the turning of the seasons. What manifested for them as slight fevers and coughs, however, proved deadly to our people. Out of every 10 Yokui who joined that northern campaign, 9 succumbed to the infections. Oh shit. Those who survived continued to suffer, finding it difficult to sire offspring. I've heard of this before. Lacking an inherited resistance, visitors to distant lands can fall deathly ill to diseases a local might shrug off. These events might also have given rise to the practice of cremation rather than the burial of mortal remains. This final mural depicts the return of our grieving brethren to Urkopacha. The reason they first left, why they had fought so long and pushed so far, was to ensure peace for our homeland. This undertaking began in ancient times, when our forebears learned they shared the continent with peoples unlike to us in appearance or custom. They feared invasion was inevitable. Rather than meekly await their fate, they decided to strike the first blow. Yet as they fought on, and all idea of peace drifted further and further away. Only after the disaster in Yogg-Thorol and their withdrawal to the mountains did they come to understand. The peace we envisioned had been ours for the taking all along. It was here in the place which birthed us, here in the stones upon which we recorded our days, here in this tranquil life we had traded for conquest and conflict. When you do nothing but fight, it can blind you to what's right before your eyes. And so on when return to the present. I trust you found this brief history of our people's enlightening. That was a neat little story. They actually succumbed to not the power, not some artifacts, just to an illness from the north. I'm always glad to learn more about my fellow Turali, how you lived until now, and how you wish to live from now on. Then I believe you're ready to proceed. The High Luminary bids you meet him upon the summit of Workor Zormor. I had a feeling we'd end up scaling that big old mountain. Well, it's a feat worthy of the name. Follow the trail south of here to begin your ascent. But be wary, beyond the entryway, the mountainside is home to ferocious beasts, both mundane and otherwise. We'll keep that in mind. Thank you for warning and the lesson. Finally, we know where we're going, to the top of the Workor Zormor. Those are the class of Valigramanda? If I'd known we'd be climbing Workor Zormor, I might not have raced up and down all those trails. My feet are killing me. This turning mountain air is going to be the death of me. How long have you been standing there? I was just taking in the scenery is all. Come on, we don't want to fall too far behind Alfino and the others. It's another dungeon. I fear I won't be much of use to you as a guide past this point. Even in Tuliolol there is a precious little written about the sacred peak of Workor Zormor, beyond whimsical poetry that is. I cast rejuvenating spell on Vuklamat. Even our indomitable third promise is feeling the strain of the slopes. The true size of the mountain is never more apparent than when you're standing right at its foot. It's pretty huge. I hope we come across Pakuljaja in our way to the summit. We will still owe him for the troubles he caused us in Kuzamoka. You remember how the Chronicle was saying that the more they fought, the further away they moved from their idea of peace? It occurs to me that if Zoralja is attempting the feat of proof, then he will have heard the same lesson. I can only hope that it's made him reconsider his own stance on educating people through war.
Gods, that is one tall mountain. And we're supposed to climb it?
Do not expect to walk here unchallenged. Tell me, stunned at once, did those short legs bring you all the way from Tuliolol?
Korogar.
He's speaking the old Yokhui tongue. The words are difficult to catch.
Though your words are crude and cumbersome, I use them for your benefit.
He's fucking pissed.
You are a claimant in this right of succession.
That's right.
Then, if you die, Tuliyola loses a potential ruler.
Are those like the descendants of the
It's a dark
warmongers?
thing to say, friend. I get the feeling you don't share the opinions of the other Yokhui we've met.
We do not grovel before Gulul, Jar Jar, like those shameless lapdogs. My brethren and I are conquerors, and we will restore our people to their rightful
Fucking
place
delusional.
as Tura's overlords.
Yeah. Sure.
The Giants have their own factions too, it seems.
You think your kin weak for showing deference to my father, but they do not follow the man. It is his peace they respect, a peace they always wanted, which they realized could be had right here.
Justifications of the craven. They turn their gaze from our ancestors, from the dream we kept alive for 1,000 years and more. They are unworthy of bearing our legacy. I will reclaim the glory of our people. And our ascension begins with the death of the third promise.
Stop! I don't want to fight you!
Then die on your knees.
What is that?
Opportunistic vermin seek to feast on us, do you? Get down here! Your neck will be the first I snap this day!
That's right!
Why do you help us?
Reverse psychology.
I didn't put much thought into it. My legs were moving before I knew what was happening. I suppose I feared you'd die before we had the chance to get to know each other. Before I could learn more about you.
To what end?
Oh, that's simple. If we're to share the land, it's the best way for us to become friends. How is he?
He'll live. Not quite ready to walk under his own strength, however.
If you could stay and tend to him, the rest of us will continue on to walk Orzormor.
So should I do this with a group of people
Understood.
or NPCs
Be
again?
careful up there.
This changes nothing. We will not forsake our conquest.
As you like. You want to kill me, you're welcome to try. But right now, you might want to worry about your comrade.
On a mountain of that size, there are bound to be creatures even I've never heard of. I'll trust you to lead the way.
Then we climb. Gurfurlor is waiting.
Let's see what the second dungeon will be about. Nine. I like that. Why my portrait is always reset? I don't understand. Because of the year doesn't match or what? mistakes were made. I was looking at my hotbar. So much loot, wow. Earring 660, it's better. Nice. Whoa. Who's this? Ah, it's him. Gerfowler.
I am Gurfulur, Elector of the Dawn Servant. Prepare to be tested. Prove you are worthy to rule. Chronicles of it. Return the hunger of roiling waters.
Why people don't use their ability to not be pushed back like that? Don't get it.
Chronicles of it. Recount the fury of erupting peaks. I will take the measure of your resolve. Implacable strength of the mountain, be mine! Spirit of my brethren, your thunder roars! That you should endure my fury. Chronicles of Hell, record the cruelty of merciless storms.
fuck, we don't have a healer. Не, скажу. Не. Отлично. Не скажу. Ну, то, если что,
Very good, Claimant. Once more, I name myself Gur Fulur, High Luminary to my people, and chosen Elector of the Dawn Servant.
You are much bigger than the others in the village.
All Yokui were once my equal in size, but ever since we were decimated by disease, it is rare to see a child reach our former stature.
You speak of the contagion which afflicted the Shaktural expedition.
Huh?
The one recorded in your murals.
It is a chapter of our history that is entangled with the legend of the Golden City.
I've heard that legend originated with the Yokui. Is this true?
With the visions our ancestors had, to be precise. Preceding the campaign into Shaktural, many
Shaktural.
were visited by dreams
I will-
of glittering splendor.
I thought
They described
Shaktural.
a paradise that knew neither war nor famine, where people lived lives of eternal happiness. A single dreamer might have been dismissed, but when dozens, if not hundreds, spoke the same, the luminaries became convinced it was divine revelation.
Then the expedition.
Its purpose was to find the City of Gold. Yes, help was marshaled from all the territories under our control. Lands were scoured on a massive scale.
Ah, little wonder the legend is so similar across Tural. Those involved with the search would have passed the stories down to their children.
Another claimant, I see. I will test your worth, as I have tested those who came before you.
juicing up.
Here and now, I think he means.
for you and your sister's success in performing the feat of proof. You both shall be rewarded.
Three to go.
How glorious it would have been to race thee and thine to the summit. Though mayhap not whilst being hounded by Bakul Jaja and his minions.
Again, that swine shows his disdain for the right.
Strangely, despite his eagerness to antagonize us, he withdrew as soon as we fought back in earnest. I cannot fathom what he was trying to achieve. On a similar note, I'm also curious as to why you chose the peak of Warkor Zormor for the conclusion of this feat. The earlier stages saw us learn the history of the Yokui. Does this location also hold some special meaning for your people?
Yes, it is a place of great significance.
All these monuments. Is this a burial ground?
Every high luminary before me is enshrined in this earth. Alongside them are the heroes who bravely stood their ground when Valigarmanda brought ruin to Urkopacha 8 decades past.
That explains why there are so many.
Zorolja, I should have known you'd arrive here first.
Third promise. How relieved I am to find you in good health.
Zorolja, you bastard! I should end you here and now!
Remember where you are. You will mind your conduct, or you will leave.
And I love his voice actor.
Sorry.
Actually fits the stature of the being.
I see no reason to delay further. Show me my father's sepulchre.
Papa has a grave?
Upon this monument are inscribed the names of those who sealed away the monstrous Valigarmanda, your fathers included.
Gulul Jaja, Master of Resolve and Reason, Champion of Peace.
Look at this one. Ketenram, Navigator of Uncharted Oceans.
Ketenram, the Laminsan explorer. Does this mean he joined Galul Jaja on his travels?
Kafkiwa, Seeker of the Unknown. How strange to see your name here.
It was unheard of to build living sepulchres for those who were not Yokui. But their great deed demanded recognition.
Master of Resolve and Reason, Champion of Peace? Papa really did some amazing things.
He carved his path with martial skill.
Yet it was clever thinking which allowed him to trap Valigarmanda within its own ice magics.
Martial skill and clever thinking. I can't compete with Zoralja's mastery of the Head of Resolve's techniques. And when it comes to knowledge, Kona's the one who most takes after the Head of Reason. Is there anything that I've gotten from Papa? Something I do better than the others?
You have his love for peace.
Of course. Papa's love for peace, for his people. That is what he's given me. And I'm fighting to preserve the peaceful Tural he built. What in the hells was that?
You must return to Warlar's Echo immediately. Valigarmanda has broken free.
I presume that was about the unholy sound?
Valigarmanda is free.
We need to get back there, now!
How fortuitous. We have been gifted an opportunity to outpace our rivals.
Good, you're back. There is much I would explain, but by the time I arrived to investigate a sudden search in Nether, there were already falling giants everywhere. But now everyone is preoccupied with treating the wounded. Pray catch your breath and then lend a hand where you can. Blood red. If you're ready, there are many injured here who need aid. Should you find anyone passed out from their wounds, ask that you alert me to them. Otherwise I shall be tending to whoever requires the most urgent healing. We can gather here once we've seen to these people's hurts. Okay. So I guess it was that fucker Bakul Judge or whatever the fuck his name was, the two-headed snake. Everything was bathed in bright red. A searing heat enveloped my entire body. I couldn't move. Was there nothing serious, but this dryness in my throat. It's if all the moisture has left my body. So basically, the Varigarmanda's eyes just evaporized. Everything burns, the touch of cloth is agony, yet I will live. Leave me there and our others in more dire need of help. Okay. Tancred is looking at something with Andrew. Though Valgramanda's escape is of dire concern, must needs to tend to those caught in conflagrations. Many of the villages sustained burns, but the fire found no purchase in these stone buildings, a small mercy. Oriander says fire ether pervades the entire village. What happened here? I've done all I can for now. The injured you found were awake and alert then. That as well. We've left the injured as comfortable as we could. Many were suffering from burns to greater or lesser degree. Did a fire sweep through the village? The details are unclear. Once I've healed the giant attacked by that mountain bird, the group's leader Vorporlor, believe they called him, bade me depart. It was then that I felt an intense wave of ether and returned to find Warlock Echo in this state. I rushed over to the first giant I saw. Though delirious with pain, he repeated the same warning while Valgrammanda had broken free. Thus did I contact you with all haste. Well, we're going to need more information than that before we can deal with the situation. Speak of the temple guard. The High Luminary grants you entry and awaits you within.
What happened?
Just escaped through the roof.
So it's true. The ice has failed.
Surmurwar, tell them what you told me.
A short while ago, a claimant paid us a visit.
Echo comes in handy.
Who enters this hallowed hall? Ah, a claimant.
Oh. And here we have the mighty Valgrammanda.
A terrifying Vitral. With every awakening, it has seared its ruinous name into the memories of a new generation.
What a good little terror. You've stayed napping right up until the day I needed you.
Explain yourself.
It is as they say. Kulul Jaja caused its magic to run rampant, trapping it in a frozen prison of its own creation. Clever. Clever. To unmake it, it would be quite tricky. 2 spells must be cast at the exact same moment. A conflagration intense enough to melt the ice, and awakening flame to rekindle the slumbering Vitral's soul. The only ones capable of such harmonious execution would be the heads of reason and resolve. And the blessed siblings, Bakul Jaja.
You mustn't!
Surely he will be
But I
disqualified
already
after
am.
this.
Rise and rage, little terror.
I might have overdone the fire a bit.
Utter madness. Why have you done this?
For the throne, of course.
You unleash calamity for your own gain? Have you any idea how many may die?
Wreak havoc, Valigarmanda. Live up to your legend.
A messenger to Tuli Yolol has been dispatched. The Landsguard will send a contingent, I am sure. But there is no telling when they will arrive.
Idiot! This monstrous act is a step too far, even for him.
So, what's the plan?
If we leave the withdrawal to others, it will be a massacre. Some might call it the wiser choice, if I don't want to fall behind the competition. But I could never live with myself. And my supporters deserve a better ruler. So that's that. I will stay and fight Valigarmanda. This is an enemy so powerful that even my father failed to slay it. Alone, I don't stand a chance. I understand you've no obligation to aid me outside the right of succession. But for the sake of Urkopacha and its people, I beg you, join me in this battle.
As if you had to ask.
Far be it from us to abandon a dear comrade in her time of need.
Dear comrades now, eh? I have to say, it does have a comforting ring to it. Knowing someone has your back makes it easier to do what you have to do.
And what will we do?
One committed to winning the contest above all else would race on ahead.
If you're resolved to slay Valigarmanda, you'll need to find out where the beast went.
That's what we have you for, old friend.
Inform the Bello of the danger. They may need to flee to lower ground.
Should a claimant reckless enough to free the Skyrim become Dawntrail, what would become of Tuliolal? The fiend buckle Jaja, he's rotten through and through. There's nothing blessed about him. Two casters releasing spells of fire at the exact same moment. A feat impossible for any but two-headed Mamulja. When I said I would take on duties of guide, that did not include the tracking of an ancient terrible Tural withdrawal. Still, we can't leave Valigarmanda free to ravage the land. So, Aranville, any ideas on how we can track Valigarmanda? The tried and true method of comparing sightings with other signs of passage is the most reliable, but also the most time-consuming. There is a second option, not as reliable as the first, but if we're lucky, it will let us ascertain the Skyruin's whereabouts far more quickly. Though a trial withdrawal of extraordinary nature, Valigarmanda is still a creature of this world. Like you and me, it is thus sustained by corporeal energy, emphasizes a unique ethereal balance, which means the device should come in handy. What? A floating hand? Now that's the time to be playing with toys. It's not a toy, it's an ether seeker. As the name suggests, gleaners use it to detect the ether of living beings. And you had that in your pack this whole time. It can calibrate it. I can calibrate it to follow a specific ethereal aspect. The problem with Valigarmanda, however, is that it can shift freely between the elements of fire, ice, or lightning. Well, we know that in order to awaken Valigarmanda from its icy imprisonment, Bakul Jaja cast a spell which weakened its fire aspect tether, and the residents here were uniformly afflicted by burns. Therefore, the logical conclusion is that upon breaking free, Valigarmanda unleashed a great fiery blast. Then the choice is plain: fire. The Seeker, however, is not without its faults, as we were not able to input our query's unique etheric signature in advance. The device will respond to any living source of the fire aspected tether. So we have the reliable yet slow method of information gathering versus the potentially swift but easily misled Gleaner tool. I say why not pursue both methods at the same time. But yeah, we'll have the first to fall back on if the second fails. You travel with me, Then imagine, in case the seeker leads me to some other fiery fiend. Okay. The rest of us can stay behind and talk to eyewitnesses. The more Skyruin sightseeings we can compare, the more accurate our information will be. If no one has any objections, I shall remain here in the village and tend to the Yokoi. Very few are seriously injured, but I am wary of wounds inflicted by a creature like Vilgarmanda. Should like to be close at hand should their condition suddenly worsen. Alright, sounds like we all have work to do. We should be on our way as well. We'll head to the outskirts of the village first, then set the seeker to detect fire aspect tether. Okay. Right, the seeker is ready to go. Portal Rosaku is still suffused with the Skyruin's residual ether, so we excluded it from the search area to prevent it from swamping the sensors. Let's begin tracking, shall we? Just follow the finger. It's that easy. Not quite the legendary creature we were after. Would you mind dealing with that fire sprite? It will continue to confuse the seeker if we leave it be. striking enough, but again, not what we were looking for. My thanks if I'd ask if it give you any trouble, but considering who I'm talking to. Seeker, resume tracking and do not try to point out something useful this time. And do try, and do not try. It's gonna point on the marks, right? Another remnant of Legramanda's last rampage. The crater's flames registered to the Seeker as a corporeal ether. In the words of Tuliolal saga, when Legarmanda rages out of control, its fire burns forever. Its eyes does not thaw, and its lighting crackles without cease. Thus was the Dawn Servant able to turn the Skyruin's perpetual magic against itself, trapping it within an unmelting prison of ice. This is no mundane fire, but some kind of everlasting sorcery. Once again, it is a strange feeling to see fanciful poetry proven true. The important thing is that the fire was classified as a living ether. We can feed a sample into the Seeker and greatly improve its accuracy. One moment. There, now the Seeker should ignore any etheric signature but Velagramanda's. Had I realized this was possible from the start, then you needn't have fought these creatures at all. But we need some quest padding, so we added that. My apologies, it seems that I still have much to learn from this journey, as a gleaner and as a guide. This time the Seeker should be attracted solely to Velagramanda's ether. Can I just do a drop from here? Good to see. The Seeker was drawn directly to the Skyruin's fire. Now we know we've set the correct parameters for its ethereal aspect. I'll try increasing the threshold for etheric concentration. That should direct us to the Tural Vidrol itself. Indelible passage. That's probably the entrance to the trial. I think we've noticed if Valgaramanda was inside this passage. Let's head through to the other side.
The trail ends here, it seems. Could Valgaramanda have shifted its elemental aspect? It does have 3 to choose from, after all. In any case, I'm almost certain the Vidral was headed in the direction of Vorkor Lardor. We should let the others know we have a likely location.
Alphino is assisting the Yokhoi with their evacuation. He thought they could use a healing hand with the injured.
So where is Valgaramanda?
Vorkor Lardor. Its stratified layers contain a wealth of crystals, said to be the source of its many-colored glow. After 80 years of imprisonment, the Vidral will be in dire need of sustenance. It would have been drawn to the mountain's energies.
So Valgaramanda seeks to replenish its ether.
Then we'd better not give it the chance.
Stop!
They're gonna help.
That mountain is sacred ground. I forbid you to set foot on it.
Sorry, It is not our intention to trespass. But you must understand, that's where Valgaramanda has gone. If we don't slay it now, it will slaughter countless innocents. Just like in the old days, I beg you, permit us to enter.
Out of the question. Your band is incapable of defeating Valgaramanda. Either you seek to defile Vorkor Lardor, or you are fools.
If you doubt their chances, how would you feel were we to join them? The monument to Valgaramanda's defeat bears the names of 7 heroes. With our forces combined, we also number 7.
Seven weaklings are no less doomed
Still an asshole.
than 4.
Zoralcha, you've come to help as well.
Against my sound advice. While the rest of you were tussling with this sky ruin, we might have secured an insurmountable lead. A minor delay. It will not change the contest's outcome. I would take the measure of his Tural Vidral my father was unable to kill.
With both my brothers here, this battle is all but won.
Your celebration is premature. I never said I would let you pass.
Brother, no! We do not bear arms against our own people.
What an odd thing to say. As I recall, the inhabitants of Chir Wagur Sultan do not consider themselves members of the Tuliyolal nation. I'd hardly call them our own people.
What does that matter? Members or not, everyone in Tural is part of our dream for peace. If you would hurt them, then you'll have to go through me.
Actually, I'm gonna on the other side, man. We could have just sliced them open quickly and go.
She saved me from the mountain bird. Now, then, the same eyes. Eyes of stone. Words of stone.
We are still in her debt. This is true. Consider the debt repaid. But do not misunderstand. We do not submit to Tuliolan rule.
Aye, you've made your point. We can talk more once the contest is over.
I ask your name.
Wuklamat, protector of peace, and soon-to-be Dawn servant.
Even people with wildly different ideals can find understanding through earnest discussion. I believe that, wholeheartedly.
As do I. I won't give up until we reach a compromise.
Assuming you survive, my old bones and I will be waiting here for the true heir's return.
Your thoughts have always been a mystery to me, brother. But I'm relieved to see you put aside the contest for the sake of the greater good.
Our nation is a fortress, and its people the bricks with which it is built. The more that are lost or broken, the weaker Tuliyolal becomes. Even the crudest rock has value as a stepping stone.
Rude.
Come on, you two. Forget about the right of succession for now, and help me fight this overgrown snake bird. I don't care how strong the Sky Ruin may be. We're going to put this menace down for good.
should I wait? I don't know. Maybe I just should go with NPCs. Yeah, let's do this with NPCs. Dance. How are you supposed to do positionals on a trial like this? It depends on the platform, I assume. Why did I freeze? To was a great fight. Wow.
We did it. We slew Valiarmanda. A feat that even the great Gulul Chacha couldn't manage. For you, Papa!
There's no denying it was an impressive achievement, but I wouldn't be so quick to claim we've outdone Father. The Vidral was weakened by decades of imprisonment. Had we faced it in its prime,
Yeah, true.
we wouldn't have fared a fraction as well.
How can you say that? 80 years couldn't have made that much of a difference. Could it? Oh, who am I kidding? Papa's still the best. I did, didn't I? Even if it wasn't at full strength, we defeated a living legend. I swear, I'll surpass the old man one day.
The Sky Ruin lies dead, and still, I've yet to prove myself the miracle.
Well, I suppose we should head back and join Erenville.
We did leave him with only Sarelja for company.
Alright. I'm gonna continue from here tomorrow, probably.